Three, two. Hey guys, I'm sorry for the huge delay. It's just crazy. It's Monday madness. It's insane. But I have with me. Hey guys, I'm sorry for the huge delay. It's just crazy. It's my other video in the chat.
I can hear like 10 people talking. This is cool.
That's like because I have to have another screen open, another window for the chat, and then I got to pop out the chat. But I can't mute it until it starts, until we start the broadcast, and then inevitably I forget to go and mute it right when I start because I'm too busy doing my intro. So life sucks. I know. Like, what do you do? So Trent is here. His video is kind of sketchy, but we can hear him. And welcome to the Natural Progressive. And I guess Valhalla is here. And hopefully his mic starts working because I really would like to hear him talk and have him join in the conversation. But for now, Trent has a lot of information about the flooding. And I am just really stoked to know, not stoked, I don't know if that's the word. I really want to know what's going on with the flooding because of the food supply and all of that that's going on. And I want down and dirty details.
Okay.
I really want to know what's going on with the flooding because of the food supply. Okay, now someone else has got their video muted. Hey, down and dirty details.
Okay. Now, there are different reports on the flooding and what crops are going to not work and what crops can be planted and have been planted and where that relates back for 5 or 6 years, what they did back then. Well, it looks like the crops it's too wet for the crops to last.
Right, and there's silt and all kinds of crap in there too that they can't plant in, right?
Right, so the planting's not going well, and of course it's all electronic equipment, and that bogs down, so they can't do that. Then you got the roads are not in top shape. Then you got the electric lines, which are not in good shape either. So it's just going to be a very interesting planting. I don't think they're going to get it done, but if you listen to the crop report, they're right on schedule.
I know. I've heard people say that I mean, even Sam Mitchell has said that that's not going to be a problem. And I'm like, but how could it not be a problem? I don't understand how that much, it's like 25% of the crops are gone. And then next year's crops are delayed. Like there's 1% of it planted when there's normally 20% planted this time of year, stuff like that.
Exactly. That's what they keep saying. And they're saying they're a little bit behind, so they're going to try to plant it, but I don't see how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I really don't understand either. Okay, I'm just going to say really quick. Okay, thanks, Val. Yeah, Shiva, Mike Bisbee. Let's say hello to everyone here, and then we'll go on. Oz, of course. Yeah, okay, yeah. So I think I lost a lot of people because I took too damn long to get on. I'm sorry, guys. This is the way it is. Whatever. Now, yeah, what are you doing personally? Because there's Idaho too, and Canada. There's flooding everywhere. Oh, yes. Trev is here. Hey, Trev. 55.
So basically, the whole Midwest is pretty much looks like it may be lost. Not all of it. There's parts of it, but it's going to be pretty bad because they can't plant. It's too wet. The crops are dying. And Michigan's the same way. Wisconsin, and I'm in Ohio. It doesn't look good here either.
Thanks, Shiva. I know it doesn't, and you know, with the population growing 275,000 every single day. I don't see how food is not going to be a problem. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, I know you think that food is going to be a problem, and we're going to have to eat the rich, right? That's how we're going to have to survive.
I'm all for it. That's my plan. Humans are going to be here the longest, so that's our food source.
Right. And yeah, so I've been thinking really long and hard about the cookbook for the rich, and you mentioned when like serving humans or something like that, and I'm like, no, it should be serve the rich, and twist on that,
Well, yeah. So we should serve the rich, but this is what I think the problem's going to be. Everything's you're flooded, so the wells are all going to be contaminated. I mean, when it floods, the wells get all the runoffs from the manures from the farms, the cattle stuff. You got even some from the super sites that are the lead and the contaminants of the super sites bleeding into. You got
and all the groundwater is going to be polluted. So even if you do get crops, they're going to be polluted with bad groundwater that has sewage and everything else in it, right?
Yeah, not only the crops, but us. We got to drink that water.
Yeah. So if it's not going to be a food shortage, it could be a shortage of clean water.
That's probably going to be first. Mm-hmm. And that's going to probably kill the most.
Sandy says she can't see Trent. I know, we're having technical difficulties. He's on an old phone. He's working on getting a new one. But for now, at least we got his voice on here. So I'm happy with that. That's cool.
So here's the thing I want everybody to think about. This will probably save your life for 30 to 90 days. Okay? Everybody needs a portable, one of those little, whether it's a live straw or some other water filtering system. Because when it floods, there's no water, there's no food. Look at those floods just in the Midwest.
Go ahead. Yeah,
if you go around the world, Iran totally flooded. Everybody's flooding everywhere. So if you don't have a little portable water thing to save your water, whether it's a grill, a live stream, whatever you're going to use, you don't have no water, and you're drinking flood water. Now you got problems.
Val, drink beer.
The beer would work, except it's only going to be in the water. We have to get a scuba mask on him and go down and get some.
Yeah. God, I think water is going to, that's my biggest fear, is running out of water and food for my horses. But yeah, I mean, okay, so I'm thinking we had a sinkhole out back in our pasture. I'm thinking, okay, so a sinkhole usually means there's groundwater underneath it. So I know where to dig for a well, but that water is going to be polluted. So definitely a water filter system would be very, very helpful. Yeah,
you're going to need a portable one because you may not, because they're talking migrant problems out of the Midwest. People moving, so many people are going to be leaving. Now we got climate refugees out of our Midwest of the US of A.
What do you think of the Brita water filter? Trubby says, use a Brita.
Yeah, you go ahead and get that Brita.
There was a lot. That was a LOL.
Yeah, if you get that Brita, you'll be one of the first people we get to eat.
Yeah, right. Oh my God, I wish your video worked. That would be so much more fun. But it's still cool. You're on. As Shiva says, food is likely going to be a problem, especially with all the chemtrail cover blocking the sun, and apparently the thinning atmosphere is now allowing in more infrared radiation from the sun and too much rain. I've heard us, I'm still on the fence on the chemtrail thing. I just am. I don't discount it, but I just don't know. I know we've been messing with weather forever with the my husband works at the airport, so I know that they seed the clouds to make it rain and stuff like that. So messing with the weather is not beyond comprehension. You know what I mean? But I don't know if they're doing it from airplanes or whatever. I have no idea. And I'm not going to pretend to know. I'm not an expert. I really haven't looked into that much. So I'm not even going to pretend to be an expert, but I know we're messing with the weather, even with just our daily activities and our coal-fired plants and this and that. That definitely messes with the weather and the atmosphere. So yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah. when it comes to like chemtrails and all these other solar minimum, blah, 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 at this point, we really don't care what it is.
Right.
As long as they believe something. Because they'll start preparing. So they can believe it. I got people believing flat earth out here and everything. I say, okay, well, whatever you want to believe, I'm good with it because they'll prepare.
Yeah, as long as but I don't feel sorry for people who are too stupid to believe that there's something happening and that don't try to prepare in some manner or another. I don't feel sorry for those people because they're just being ignorant. They're not listening to the science. They're not listening to the fact or even using their own logic. They don't have to even listen to the science to use their own logic in their own brain and realize that there are too many people on this planet and we are killing off the very source of life that we depend on, meaning food, air, and water. So what the hell? And I mean, you can't argue with those facts. You just can't. I mean, you can argue climate change all you want. You can argue chemtrails. You can argue anything you want. The fact is we are destroying ourselves. And that's just the way I look at it. And I don't know. Trent, what do you think?
Okay, so I'm a political scientist. I have a whole different view on this whole thing.
Okay.
Than what you have.
Sorry. Say quick hi.
I'm going with, we do have an overpopulation problem, and it creates more waste, it creates more everything that we got to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my biggest problem is, and we got right now, like the extinction people coming out and they're talking, go out and they're going to go do some passive resistance in the street. And here's my take on that. By the time they get that done, I mean, we'll be starving. And because that takes a long time to do all that and to do the debt relief thing and all the things they're talking about they may do, they'll be lucky to get anybody on to do that. What you got is you actually in a war. You're in a war right now. People don't realize this. They're actually in a war. Because if they don't win, their kids die. It's that simple. You are in a war, no matter how you plan it, whether you're going to go to not do anything or you're going to go hold up a sign somewhere, you're at war. So you have to look at what you're going to do.
Hi, human. Sorry.
As far as I'm concerned, if you want to stop capitalism, you want to stop this whole thing, it's very simple. And I don't want anybody to go do this right now because I don't want people to come and arrest us, and I don't really want to. It's too late anyway. You're too late.
I don't want to spend what short life I have left
in jail.
Thanks.
It's the 60s. If we were in the 60s, we'd be okay. But don't do this. It's too late. We're going to die. It's not going to matter. But the way you take out a civilization is you take down the power grid. We have nuclear plants. We have non-nuclear. If they took out all the non-nuclear plants, power plants, we have no grid. Then if they start cutting all the power lines, you do it not in a war because the USA is going to just kill you if you armies, things like that. You talk guerrilla warfare among the people. You take out the power lines, you take out the coal-fired plants, you blow them up. It don't take a lot of people because they're not even really well protected. Don't take out a nuclear because you're going to kill everybody.
Yeah, definitely don't take out a nuclear. That would get, but if you kill everybody and then there's no one working at the nuclear and then they shut down and then they melt down. Jilly's here. Hi, Jilly.
But that's your war. Your war should have been with taking out the nuclear grid of the United States of America. If you wanted to win this war, that it should have been done in the 60s and 70s. But that's your war. Your war should have do that.
Okay, Val's trying to talk. Why does it not work? Valhalla, I want to hear you talk. Dang it. The sky's very dark. Yeah.
Well, it's working. I just don't want to get I don't want to get reverb and echoes.
Very dark. Yeah. Do you have an extra screen open that's not muted, like another window open? I get that. I had to do that earlier. Just try that. It's not muted, like another window open.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be echoing.
I had to do that earlier. Turn the sound down.
Am I echoing now?
Yes. Yeah. Well, not you, just the video. We hear the video. Just turn off the sound of the video, just the video itself in that screen, and your sound should still be fine when you turn the microphone on, just mute the video, the other window that has the video in it, where you can watch where you're watching the chat. Mute that video. I know this tech stuff is way fun. Yeah, hi Chili, you're awesome. Sandy, let's see. I wanted to read some of the comments because Human had a good comment. He said it would be happening. The same problem would be here if there were less people. And I mean, like if you got rid of all the people now, yeah, we're still dealing with a decade worth of problem that's already baked in. So, but I don't see any reason to rush it, like make it worse. Sandy says you're very articulate, Trent.
Well, thank you. So nobody go blow up power plants because it's too late. Now, if you do it now, it's already baked in. We're already all going to die, and they're going to come arrest you. So
yes.
we don't want you to go to jail.
Robin says nuke plants are dependent on the grid for cooling, no grid, and they start going. That's very true. That's one of the realities we face. It's like we do have a million guns pointed at our head right now. They really need to decommission all 450 plants that they have around the world.
Indiana's a mess right now. It's a big shit sandwich, and we all have to take a bite.
Yeah, it sucks so bad. Ashiva, we need to dismantle all nuke plants before we perish as a species. We owe it to the future life to do so. Imagine if our ancestors had stumbled into an ancient nuclear reactor, we would have never existed. Yeah. Basil Peterson, I will be happy to get one more crop of fat tomatoes this year. Oh, I'm growing heirlooms too. They're the best. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think Joe was talking there for a minute. I thought this was cool.
I know. Come on, Joe, talk.
Okay, nuclear plants. All the nuclear waste is sitting on top of each nuclear plant. They do have some places in New Mexico and on the coast that they actually store it. But those nuclear plants, now get this. This is the insanity of your species, or my species, everybody. Nuclear waste lasts for, everybody ready? 250,000 years. That's how long it's nasty for. So what do we get out of it? We get 6 years of use out of one of those rods. They use rods. So we get 6 years of electricity for 250,000 years of waste. That's dangerous. So if that waste was to leak into the water supply of our future generations, oh, we're sorry. You're going to mutate. You're going to die. You're going to, things are just going to go bad for you.
Yeah,
so that's what we did.
They're storing all that spent nuclear waste right here in Utah. We get it right in our backyard, right here, kind of close to where I live right now. It sucks really bad. I don't love it here, but yeah, we have this plant called Energy Solutions. They're the ones that break down the decommissioned nuclear plants, and all the waste comes here.
So you got problems. So yeah. So if this happens, if the water goes from the flood, and it can go, I mean, the flood can take out the electrical grid and the water, and there goes a nuclear plant. Mm-hmm. And don't drive away slowly, run from this place, because when the nuclear comes in, they go, nobody died. Oh, they're all contaminated, mutated, whatever. Of course they didn't die yet, but they're going to.
Yeah, and they're going to live miserably.
Right. And you don't want your kids to have 3 eyes and the 12 fingers and that kind of stuff. It's really bad.
That's a joke on The Simpsons. They really think it's a joke from The Simpsons. Because,
a case of cholera is no party.
Yeah.
So if you go to it's called the Children of Chernobyl. You can go and see actual kids from the Chernobyl accident, and it is not pretty. There's another thing you should know. our military uses depleted uranium in their missiles. So when we did the war on Iran, we fired ionized radiation with our weapons into their towns. So now we have problems of the kids of Fallujah. They're over there and they're contaminated and they're coming with mutations and all kinds of weird stuff. We basically did a nuclear war on Iraq. I get it confused. Iraq. We did a nuclear war when we took that country, and we contaminated everything. Now, if you want to look at some of the reports, our military came back with suspicious illnesses. Nobody can know what it is. Well, anytime you get something that they can't find, it's usually radiation contamination. And that's what they came back with, our military people. So some of the sicknesses were that.
Yeah.
Now let me go over to Iran. Iran is flooding like crazy right now. Go see some of those videos. It's like, wow, Iran's just like flooding left everywhere. I don't even think there's going to be an Iran. It's going to be the Sea of Iran for a long. So it's going to be pretty weird. Iran used to be a democracy until the 1950s, where we overthrew their government. We put the Shah in. They threw us out. That's why they hate Americans to burn our flag. We threw them out. And then guess what? We tried to take it over again in the 90s.
Yeah. And now we're going to we keep just going and going and going. Let's
Chris?
Yes.
I hate to say this, but we have no clue what other countries are doing. Okay, China, Russia. In fact, China has already admitted to geoengineering at the Beijing Olympics. Okay, so we really have no clue what other countries are doing. They could be doing anything. We don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, look how much our government has lied to us. I wouldn't be surprised if other governments aren't lying as well. I mean, I'd be very surprised if they weren't. So there's a lot we don't know. And what we don't know is what's most scary to me. You don't know what you don't know, right? And governments lie. They just do. Julie Love, nuke uses mass amounts of water that could be used for drinking. Yes. And so does mining, by the way. Thousands and thousands and thousands of gallons are contaminated in my state. And I see where they're put from these really clear water reservoirs and transferred to mining. And then they go into tailings ponds. And it's disgusting. I've done videotape live. Well, not live, but I recorded videotape when I passed by these areas. And that's what really motivated me to do this channel, was that. And it's just sick to see. It's just sick. And I really encourage people to go back to my really earliest videos, because that's when I was videotaping what I seen when I traveled through the rural areas of Utah. They're destroying the land. They're sucking up the water and contaminating it with mining. And that's water that we needed for drinking, and it is water that they use for growing crops and all that too. So it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting. Eshiva Gulf War syndrome, yeah. The Gulf War started a whole bunch of shit, but we've been overthrowing governments forever and ever, and let's bring democracy. They have, our oil under their ground. We need to go get them, and of course they have a fascist leader that we need to throw over, a dictator, evil dictator. We need to overthrow because our oil is under their ground. Oh my God, motherfuckers. Okay, Trev, my grandparents were what? My grandparents were in Iran in the late 70s. Really? Oh man, that's been going on for way too damn long. Basil, the past 5 years Iran was in a drought. Weather extremes are global. Yeah, they absolutely are. There's a lot of shit going on right now. I mean, we had 3 times the amount of rain in April as we usually get. It was insane. My horses were definitely growing flippers. I mean,
so that brings up a great point. What's happening is I was wondering whether we're going to have droughts or we're going to have rain around the world. We're having rain. It's raining everywhere. Just go look at some of the because they have videos about every month about what's going on in countries and extreme weather events. Oh yeah, it's rain.
Yeah,
The one that
there's
blew me
a lot
away
of
was
rain, there's atmospheric river, and that's why we're having so much flooding, right?
yes, exactly. And that's why I tell everybody get a water filter, because you're going to have to drink flood water, because your water is going to be gone as soon as when that water comes up. It's over for you.
That's
If you don't have any.
What do I
Yes.
do for my horses though?
Well, your horses, we're gonna lose your horses.
I don't want to think about that. I swear to God, that and my kids is the hardest thing to think about. And what do you do with those thoughts? I mean,
Now, a lot of people are prepping. I see a lot of it. I go, let's see what they're doing. Now, a lot of people will get some beans and rice and store it. I said, so when the flood water hits those, what's going to happen to your big bags there of beans and rice?
Not only that, you'll barely have enough water to dehydrate some of this stuff, and a lot of people are getting the freeze dried foods, which you need water for.
Well, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think that's a good idea, even talking about that online. But hey, that's just me. You're talking sabotage.
What's that?
Prepping,
talking sabotage. I'm sorry, I'm a little confused. What is sabotage? Like, we're just talking about prep stuff, so.
Well, somebody's talking about sabotage, and you don't want to go sabotage stuff because it's too late anyway. It don't really matter. So don't sabotage anything. Don't blow anything up. Don't kill. You don't want to go do that. It's too late. If someone had done it in the 70s, it had to be done differently. But it's not. It's too late today. We're written in. We're going down. That's just a story.
Okay, I'm just wondering what he's responding to. I missed something. As Shiva has a good personal water filtration system, she's recommending.
Well, ask them what they're using.
Yeah, but eat the horses. As Shiva, no, I will never eat my horses. Fuck that. No, my kids, would you eat your children? I could never do that.
Okay, let me explain something that happened in China. In the 60s, China had a little problem with food. And if you look at the accounts of some of the journals, if your baby died, you went and looked for a lady who had another baby that also died, and you traded babies. Why would you trade dead babies?
To eat them. Ew.
Right. That's how bad starvation gets people.
Well, I'm sure it will, but I can't even fathom that at this point. I just can't. I mean, I could think about eating the rich way better than or easier, because I hate them because they caused this and they deserve to be eaten. Where my horses didn't do a fucking thing to deserve this. You know what I mean? They're innocent. They're sweet. My dogs, they're sweet. My chickens are great because they'll provide me eggs. And until there's no more bugs for them to eat.
So here's what's going to happen. Let's say it floods there, and let's say you wake up tomorrow and you got 2 feet of flood water out your door. What you going to do with your kid? What you going to do with the horses, the chickens? They're running around in water.
I have no idea. I try to think about it. We're pretty high elevation. I know eventually the Great Salt Lake is probably going to flood. It did in the 80s. So it may flood again, but I don't even think when that happened. But we are still within Lake Bonneville was all over, almost the entire Utah was under Lake Bonneville back in a long time ago. So we're living in an old lake bed. But we're still a long ways from flooding, but it can always happen. I'm not dismissing that as a possibility. But all those houses built on the wetlands, that pisses me off. And they deserve what they get if they build a house on the wetlands, because 80% of the wetlands are now destroyed. 80%. 80%. I mean, and they're still building stuff. They want to build a brand new, they're building a brand new airport right now, and they're building a prison on the wetlands. They built a highway on the wetlands out here. I mean, we're in the driest state, the second driest state in the country. And so what wetlands we have are where migratory birds go, you know. And now they're proposing an inland port where trucks come in and out and all that, and train tracks and stuff they're going to build on the wetlands. More shit on the wetlands. It's just, fuck the wetlands. We don't need those birds. Fuck. God, I hate this state so bad. They piss me off. I want to rip my hair out. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant, but that pisses me off.
If you rip your hair out, if you rip out your hair, can we get a video of that?
It'll probably happen on Monday Madness if it happens.
Okay, good. Yeah. So now you're going to have, why I tell everybody, make sure I keep pushing this point, a portable water filter, because you're going to have to move.
Right.
If you get flooded, you're going to have to move. At the end of the story, your house is gone. Your stuff in your house is ruined. If you look at these flood victims, they got nothing left. They're trying to dry some stuff out. Their couch, bye. You know, some of their beds, goodbye. It's all gone.
We have a camper already on a truck that we own. It's like exclusively on this truck. So if we have to bug out, we have the camper.
What if the camper can't get through the water?
I don't know.
What if you ain't got no gas station? It's got gas.
Okay, then we have canoes. And
Okay, now we're talking.
I don't know. Fuck. Shit, I never thought of flooding because we really, I don't think of that as a huge danger here not for a while. I think we'll run out of food long before and clean water long before we flood.
Well, the water will kill you the quickest. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not going through the priorities here, and I'm thinking clean water is up here, food, and then flooding is somewhere down here. Maybe, I don't know. We could have some kind of extreme storm, but the Great Salt Lake is so low right now that I don't think I think it would take a lot to fill it up and make it flood to this extent. It would take a lot. So
now I know everybody believes that. Now go look at some of the videos just this month of the flooding around the world.
I've seen them, but
you'll be shocked. I've been shocked. Like, wow, Iran's underwater, basically. Wow.
I know, and there's lots of cities already starting to shrink under the coastal cities, and they have to relocate people already. So yeah.
So it's going to be, everybody's got to decide what they want to do and where they're going to go. I mean, I'm going to have to come steal one. I don't have a canoe, so I'm planning to steal one of yours.
You're in Idaho, right? How are you going to get to Utah?
Yeah. Well, we got to figure that out. I'm going to have to steal a plane, drop it in the water, and then head on over. But we'll get there.
We have 3. Well, they're not really canoes; they're kayaks. But we have 3, and lots of life.
Can you write my name? Can you write my name on one of them? Thank you. You're too kind.
As you come out for Doomer Party, one of these days we're gonna have a huge Doomer Party. I think that will be a blast. Oh, Osama's here! Oh my gosh! Hi, Osama. He's one of my besties. I'm so excited he's here. Osama should jump on if he wants. Wouldn't that be fun? I'm going to drop the link just in case he decides to pop in. There. Just in case. Just in case he wants to pop in and talk to us, Doomer people on air. But, oh my gosh, I'm so happy to have you on, Trent. We've had so much fun going back and forth on other people's channels.
Well, the last thing is the thing you talked about is the last food source is going to be people.
Right.
So you're going to have to decide, if you're going to shoot them, take them down, or you're going to and cook them, and what you're going to do, or if you're going to not.
Well,
and not last
I think out here, I think it will be a little bit more delayed than in the city because we kind of live really rurally. So there's a ton of cows out here. There's a ton of sheep out here. There's a ton of
Well-
horses out here, but I don't want to think about the horses, so we're not going to talk about that. But there's a lot of animals out here. There's more animals out here than there are people out here where I live. So
Thank goodness, because these city people are going to be hungry when they start getting hungry.
yeah, and you know, I probably a lot of people on here are anti-gun, but we have guns and I have ammo, and we have it stocked up, and you know, if we need it to protect what we have, we'll do it. So okay,
So,
I gotta read
just to
some
be clear, so no one goes to jail. Nobody blow up anything. Don't shoot anybody yet. We're okay. You know, we're still not collapsed.
right.
And
And we
and
have a
then-
pretty good community too. I mean, they are Mormon, and I give Mormons a lot of grief. I do. But the one thing they are they're preppers. Like, it's ingrained in their religion. They're preppers. You should know
Yeah.
that if you live in Idaho, right? They're preppers. They always have a food storage of some variety. Right up the street, there's a couple that grow a ton of vegetables. They have a giant garden. We have gardens. You know, there's a lot of gardens here, which is very helpful. I put mine in pots so I can move them if the weather gets too bad. We can move them and get them out of the weather and then move them back out. They're mobile gardens.
well, that's a good idea because you can move them away from the water and too much water. Now, I'm in Ohio.
Oh,
It's-
I thought you were in Idaho. Why did I think you were in Idaho?
I don't know. I never lived in Idaho.
Oh,
So,
I don't know.
I'm in Ohio, and it's raining all the time now. Used to not rain that much. It rained almost every day. It rained again today. So I put
Really?
tomatoes out, and I put them in the ground, and they're already about almost 2 feet high. Usually I get about 6 inches right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's that fast, and it's just crazy. So
Wow.
we're gonna flood here.
Ah, well, make sure they're up high.
Okay. So
All
yeah,
of
so
our-
that's why
all of our gardens are in raised beds, so
it's not gonna be
I
high
worry
enough.
more about the hail because we're getting really bad hail across the country, like major hail, like they've never seen before. So I
And there
worry
goes your
about
crop.
that.
Now you can grow everything in a 5-gallon bucket. I've done potatoes, tomatoes, everything.
Oh, I have potatoes in 5-gallon buckets right now. Yeah,
Yeah, so you can do all that. You can move them in and out.
Mm-hmm.
Now potatoes kind of will feed you. Tomatoes just give you vitamins. That's about it.
Yeah.
So
We have
if you're-
carrots, and cucumbers, and eggplant, and I don't know. What do you call? Oh my
now
gosh.
most people are doing what you do as far as the gardening and things like that.
Mhm.
I don't do that. I'm not planning to do a regular diet. I'm planning to do a ketogenics diet. I basically just have peanut butter stored up and
Really?
vitamin pills. Peanut butter and vitamin pills. I can take them with me, whatever. I don't have to grow them. I don't have to 5-gallon buckets, and that's what I use. It's basically the keto diet,
Uh-huh.
modified. But your vitamins and your peanut butter, I got those stored. That's what I got stored.
Basil Peterson has an underground greenhouse. Are you looking at these comments, Trent, at all?
No, but can you get his
Uh,
address for us?
Sorry, that was lagged. I got a lag here from like 10 minutes ago. When you were
Okay.
when you were talking about
Yeah, what did you want me to say that again?
doing something to power plants, and I said that about 10 minutes ago. Sorry.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But we said not to blow them up. Don't blow them up.
Yeah, don't blow up the nuclear power plants or we're all gonna die like right now. Which may be more humane, actually. If we
I
all
don't
did-
want to. I don't want to mutate. No.
well, if we could just go. What did we say will feed you? I don't know. What did I say will feed you? I don't know. I have eggs. That's my protein. We have chickens that lay eggs, and we have vegetables. So we have protein and tons of vegetables going. I don't know. I think something else will. I think the water is the hugest problem. So as long as you have food, you can last a little bit longer. But I'm really hoping for a quick, bam, we're done if it's going to happen. I don't know. because I don't want to worry about my horse. Peanut butter. We have peanut butter and we have rice and we have. I don't really have. What I have is chlorella. Have you heard of chlorella? Because it's just packed with everything you could possibly ever need. And I have wheatgrass concentrate, chlorella and wheatgrass concentrate, which you can take anywhere. It's in a small container.
Okay.
If you can stomach it, it has huge amounts of protein, and all the vitamins and everything you could possibly need. It's the most nutrient dense food there is. So
Well, as long as you can move it, that's the whole key.
Yeah, it's in a tiny container. It's in a container like this big. I mean, it's like this big. Little jar.
And people are going to need
that goes a long ways.
Yeah, you're going to need a bug out. They call it a bug out bag.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay, so everybody needs a bug out bag.
Humor shit. This is awesome.
So you're going to need one. I have one. I have 2 Grail water filters in mine with purifiers.
Okay, Julie, spirulina is almost the same thing as chlorella. They're really similar. They're both super packed with nutrition and protein. So yeah, they're both super good. I think chlorella, CHLOR. Oh my God, don't make me spell. I'm too tired. Chlorella. Oh, Ashiva, good girl. Chlorella every day. Those, yeah, I have to put them in pills though, in little capsules, because I can't stand the taste. It makes me gag so bad. But chlorella and spirulina are really similar. They're both kind of an algae of some variety, and they're super packed with nutrients. Chlorella DeVille. A couple awarded more than 28 billion or 2 billion in punitive damage in Roundup, but still will appeal. 13,000 cases are yet to be tried. I wish I could comment on that, human.
Uh-oh.
I'm not allowed. I'm sorry. That's why I don't want to have a corporate job. That's why people need to support me on my Patreon so I can talk about stuff like that. Because, yeah. That's something I want to talk about so bad, and I know so well, and I can't talk about it. Oh, that drives me crazy. Okay, the underground greenhouse regulates the temperature for 3 seasons in the Finger Lakes of New York. If I had a stove, I could use for greens in the winter. Nice. But what do you use for lighting if it's underground? I want to know that. Spirulina tastes good in smoothies. I can handle even the chlorella and the wheatgrass in smoothies, but I just don't have the patience to do smoothies, and I never have the right stuff to do it. And it's just too much work.
They're going to have to remember, this is going to be in a apocalyptic setting. It's not going to be in your house with your blender and your
you won't have a blender, but
or electricity or water.
Well, when I'm desperate enough, I'm sure I could. I have my little pill maker. I'll have lots of gel cap, the little veggie caps that you can pack the stuff in, and I can make capsules of it.
Okay.
Because that's what you're going to have to. You can swallow 8 pills at once, Shiva. Oh my God. I can't even swallow one. I had to stop taking my anti-anxiety medication because I can't swallow it. And they're tiny pills. They're tiny pills. I taste them and I just immediately throw them back up. So I have anxiety out the freaking yazoo, especially with the situation we're in.
Now, what do you think about self-protection? Are you going to need it? What are you going to need?
I think there are going to be occasions when we'll need it, because it's a proven fact when people go under stress that they become more aggressive, more violent. And even if you have a really good community, you're still going to get the outliers that are trying to take whatever you have. That's what I think. Been eating hemp hearts, good protein. Oh, nice. I don't know what hemp hearts, but they sound good, Maggie. Oh, by the way, Maggie, I shared one of your videos with Guy McPherson, because, he's kind of friends on Facebook and stuff. So I shot that over to him because I thought he'd like it. Your newest one was really cute. If anyone hasn't seen our newest one, it's super cute. It's Guy McPherson in a coffee shop. And yeah, insanity ensues. It's crazy. Anyway, I love her video. Have you seen her videos, Trent? They're cute.
No, I haven't. I have to get a link to them.
Well, hold on. Can you read the comments?
No.
Oh, that sucks. Because you should be able to read the comments. Why can't I?
I have to have another phone. So when I get another phone, I can read the comments on one phone.
How come? This is crazy. Okay, that's why I was scooted over. I'm gonna see if I can share that. I need to learn how to do this anyway. So y'all hang in with me. Trent, talk about whatever the hell you want. I'm gonna see if I can share a video because I really want to show one of Maggie's videos.
Okay.
So I don't know what's gonna happen. So just talk. They'll hear you.
Okay. Now
they can't see you anyway. So
now I go watch the Extinction Rebellion to see what they're doing and what their plan is. And they don't have enough time to implement this at all. It's not even close. Everybody's waiting for the Arctic to melt, blue ocean event and the Arctic to melt. Well, I don't think it's going to take that long, actually, because I think we're going to have floods and all kinds of droughts and mostly floods before then. It's going to Arctic to melt. Well, I don't think it's going to take that long, actually, because I think we're going to have.
Oops.
My screen's gone crazy.
I know. Don't look at the screen, guys. Don't look at the screen.
I won't look at the screen. It's crazy.
Don't look at the screen. I'm trying to figure out how to do screen share and show a video.
So don't wait for the blue ocean event in the Arctic. This stuff's going to go down to, right now it's starting. And if you doubt it, you can go to who's got something. Oh, Signs of the Time videos. You'll see just
oh my
crazy.
God.
Right now it's starting. One month worth of rain, in 1 hour. That's how bad it is. Our year's worth of rain in 2 days. It's just mad.
Yeah,
you guys got to see this video. It's really cool. She's got things popping up faster. You could even blink your eyes.
Okay, can you see that?
Yeah, that's so cool. Someone's in a soccer league and kids, and we got all kinds of great stuff here. So yeah. So don't wait for the blue ocean event. That's like the thing saying it's over then, but that's okay. We use the time till then, and to plan a little bit.
Okay, listen to this, and you'll see. Yeah. I agree with you for sure. I just wish I wasn't a corporate slave at this point. But okay, let's watch a Maggie May video because it's Monday Madness, and we got to. And I've been wanting to do this. Hopefully this works. Can you see the screen? You can see it?
I can see it.
Okay, let's go for it then.
So I suggest you live a life of excellence. Live with love in mind. Live with urgency. Are there any questions, comments? Yeah, I lived in a submarine for a year. We're resourceful and adaptable. What we need is a plan for survival. Need I remind everyone that you're animals living in a habitat. You're part of an ecosystem. You're not separate from it. You can't stay in a bunker forever. Any other questions? Yes. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. I'm sorry, is that a question? Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. You gotta excuse her, she always says that. You're my only hope. Okay, well, speaking of hope, hope is the equivalent of wishful thinking. Hope is meaningless without action. Yes, I have a question. Do you think all of this will affect strawberry production? If the rate of change is too fast, both you and your strawberries won't be able to keep up. And who do you think pollinates the plants? We're in the middle of an insect apocalypse. So you're definitely saying this will affect berry production. We're in the midst of the 6th mass extinction. Look, I think I'm done here.
Okay.
That was pretty good.
Right? Is that not
Yep.
funny?
That was really good. Yeah, I liked it.
Okay. Yeah, there's lots of questions I could ask based on that
Oh,
response.
I don't know what that is. Okay. I'm trying to get back. I don't know where I'm at. There I am. Okay. I'm back. Now I just got to find my chat again and we'll be good. I am so not tech literate. Okay, there's my chat. Got the chat back. Hey, guys. Oh, Maggie, or Human put up Maggie May's YouTube. So, yeah, she's got a new one, Guy McPherson in a Pie Shop. And she's working on a Derek Jensen doll to do some Derek Jensen videos, even though those two are rivals. Like, they hate each other so bad. It's insane. I had no idea there was so much drama going on there. I mean, really. Hey, who's joined us? Oh, it's Osama! Oh, my God. Say hi, Osama.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, I'm so
Whoa.
excited you jumped in.
I just blew my ears out.
Sorry.
That's okay. I got a couple of miles left on them.
You'll forgive me. That's okay.
It was great to watch Mackie's video. She is just so great. She just
She's
gets the point
brilliant.
across.
Did you see her newest one? The guy
Uh-huh.
who in the pie shop.
Yeah,
Oh man, she's brilliant. She's absolutely
really great.
brilliant. Oh my gosh, she's gonna make some more that we can put on my show too.
Cool.
So
I
yeah,
have to go now. I have to
Okay.
go back to work. I have to go back to work. I'm a slave.
you got to go back to work, Trent.
I'm a slave. Yeah, I'm just a slave like everybody else.
Oh damn. I'm sorry, Trent.
Hey,
you
all right.
have to come on again when you get your new phone so we can actually see you.
That
Hey,
sounds
Trent.
good.
Stay
Yeah.
hungry. Stay hungry.
I will.
Yeah, stay hungry.
Can you fatten up a little bit for me?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Okay, thank you. Get more depressed. No, and I'm ready. It was nice meeting everybody.
You too. Thank you, Trent.
Bye.
You have a good-
Bye.
Where's he going?
He has to go to work. Slave to the man. Slave to the man. That's the way it is. So what's going on, Osama?
I gotta get back up to New York. My mom's not doing that great. She's
Oh no.
really confused. I got her kind of straightened out with her pills today. She takes so many of them that she's just, yeah, it's kind of hard. But she's got some aids up there. But I'll be up there on Wednesday.
Oh, well, you know, she's very lucky to have a son like you.
Well,
Um,
thanks. It's me. It's what I got to do.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. I gotta go see
Yeah.
my mom probably tomorrow. I'm hoping because she's got cancer and stuff, and she's gonna
Oh,
be turning
sorry to hear
80
that.
soon. So, yeah, that's parents. You gotta take care of them as much as you can. I gotta
Yeah.
get it, but I'm not as good of a doc. I live 45 minutes away, and you probably see your mom more than I see my mom, and that's horrible, right? It's
Well,
just that
yeah.
she's a Trump supporter, and it's really hard to deal with.
It's tough going back and forth. It's not the drive. It's just getting myself all together, and I have work both places, so I've got to pack stuff for, putting up speakers at the horse farm where I grew up,
Oh,
and so it's like they have. I've been doing it since I was, I don't know, 14.
oh wow,
That was a long time.
got it down. How come Trent's still showing? I thought he left. That's weird.
That, and I've been growing some really cool plants. I mean,
Really?
Peppers and stuff.
Oh, nice. I got peppers
I
started.
got
planted them over the weekend. I started the seedlings. So,
Yeah, well, I'm
warm enough to
growing.
put them outside yet? There, isn't it colder up there?
Today yeah, I mean, tonight it's going to go down to like 58, but they're in a carport overnight. They haven't put in the ground yet, at least some of them. But I'm growing my chocolate habaneros, and I'm growing these really cool. It's probably backwards.
Sugar rush.
They're Sugar Rush Peach,
It's not backwards. I can read.
hot and sweet. It's not backwards to you. That's
Mm.
good.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I got banana
Yeah,
peppers.
it's just
going on.
backwards to. It's mirror image to me. So
Unless I am dyslexic, so it could have looked that way to me. It's perfectly normal to me. Who knows?
you know my dyslexic joke.
What's your dyslexic joke?
A dyslexic man walks into a bra.
I like it. That's cool. But that's about how dyslexics think. Yeah.
So I
My
saw some.
spelling sucks so bad because I'm always transposing letters all over the place. Like, yeah, people I'm sure think I'm totally stupid. Yeah, but that's okay.
I'm sure not.
Well, I can name one person who totally thinks I'm a dumb fuck. So, fuck cares what he thinks.
I think I know who you might be talking about,
Yeah.
but
I know you do. 'Cause
it's very hard to win him over.
Yeah, so I hear. Whatever. He doesn't know what he's missing out on, so it's his problem.
Yeah, I saw some cool videos today. One was John Oliver with Bill Nye.
Hmm.
If there's a clip of it on whatever his show's name is.
Share it. Let's share it. This is Monday Madness. We can share.
Oh, I can do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might ask permission to share your screen, but you should definitely do that. Is it asking? I don't see that.
Screen share.
Yeah, do the screen share. I'm watching for permission because sometimes it asks permission or whatever. Not seeing that.
And can you see it?
Not yet. Oh, I love Bill Nye. I grew up with Bill Nye, the Sang in the Sky.
It says screenshot on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it was just a second ago.
My picture disappeared.
Okay.
You are screen sharing, so let me open up a tab here.
Okay, yeah. There it goes. There you go. Yeah.
See lots of Graham. I'm watching lots of Graham Elward today. He's
isn't he?
yeah. I've seen him before.
He's
other
this
people's
close to being a doomer. This close.
I know it's gonna blow his mind, unfortunately, but
I know.
we've all had our own minds blown, and we're still here.
I know. At the end of that last video, the interview I did, and he was on there co-hosting, and I was talking about growing my own food. He's like, I live in an apartment, like neighborhood, co-op farm kind of thing.
Yeah,
Parking lots need to be turned into gardens instead of parking lots. Whatever. Get creative. There's lots of videos on YouTube of how to do that.
It's 20 minutes, but I can fast forward to the Bill Nye parts. Actually, it's just the end that's pretty.
Okay.
That's really fun.
To do that.
Find that one.
Let me see if I can get my pop out while you're.
You seeing it and hearing it and all?
Not. Oh, I seen it. Now it's gone. What happened? We're not hearing it. That's why it's not popping up. Okay. Bill's cool but misinformed on GMOs. Jilly, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really heard him talk about GMOs, but honestly, I haven't followed him. Played
Did that work?
His music video today. I didn't even know he had a music video. See, that's how out of I'll live by him. I just know I loved him as a kid. And he's been a pretty good advocate for climate change. John Ellis, Uphill Media. Wait, what's going on with John Ellis? John is awesome of Uphill Media. He's one of those like Graham, on the verge of being a doomer, not quite there yet. Still a lot of hopium. Which, you know, they're probably happier not being in the doomosphere. Ignorance is bliss. Let's see. JK Studios.
I actually envy people who are not doomers.
Yeah.
You don't have to dwell on this every day.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. Actually, I really do envy people that don't think about it, or the people who are religious and just think that Jesus is going to save them and all that. I envy them, but at the same time, they drive me freaking nuts. My brother,
Agreed.
for the last month, has been torturing me nonstop, texting me, "You need to believe in Jesus, accept Jesus as your savior." Oh my God, my little brother is a freaking Seventh-day Adventist, and he's driving me nuts. Okay, I am ripping my hair out.
How do you think I got this way?
Oh my God. Yeah, he's relentless. And I don't want to wreck his world, but he keeps going on, but there's proof that Jesus exists. There's museums with all the artifacts and stuff. I'm like, have you actually looked into it? You know? You could build a ship out of the pieces of the cross that he supposedly carried.
Yeah, fake and gay, like most of it.
Mhm.
Like Noah's Ark outside of Cincinnati.
Oh, I've heard about that.
Oh, you haven't had a chance to go there yet?
No.
See that
Missed out on that one.
$6 billion boondoggle?
Yeah, I've read about it. I haven't actually been there. I don't travel much. I travel for work, and then other than that, when I go on vacation, it's 20 minutes away up to the top of the mountain.
Hey, Chris, I wanted to mention a couple kind of crazy ideas here.
Well, yeah.
Okay, if we considered the possibility that humans might go extinct,
Mhm.
shouldn't we put up like a memorial to humans on the planet?
Yeah.
You know, so for future aliens, maybe archaeologists,
But
wonder.
what could survive this whole mess? That could survive the floods, the fire, the overheating? What would
Well,
survive?
yeah. Well, there's a couple ways to do it. One way is to put it on the moon where there's no
Oh, yeah.
kind of copying out of 2001: A Space Odyssey, where the obelisk is on the moon, and you put a beacon, and this beacon would put out a signal, and maybe in a billion years, alien archaeologists would come and find it. We could also have optical disc with our civilization. That's the one thing that really upsets me about extinction, is that we have done so much, a lot of bad, but a lot of good, a lot of great art, and it's all going to go to waste.
That's true.
You know, it's all going to be fruitless. I mean, all the greatest art, symphonies, Mozart, boom, gone, like it never happened. So there should be some way that we should be able to save it.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to have some kind of, not that humans are any kind of a species that should be celebrated, but I think it's important. I mean, there are certain individuals within the species that should be celebrated, if that makes any sense.
Okay, well, why do we have grave markers, for people in the cemetery to remember them, to say who they were? Like Jim Morrison of what group was Jim Morrison with?
Health, I know.
Geez, I can't remember, but famous people who are dead.
The Doors.
The Doors. Thank you.
Okay.
He's
I'm
got
not thinking about music unless it's old
thank
country.
you, Osama. he's got a famous gravestone in Paris that, all kinds of people visit and leave things there, and lots of young people learn about. But at any rate, I just think we should leave a history of what happened to us, for future alien archaeologists or future beings sometime in the future to let them know what occurred here on this planet.
I think past civilizations tried to do that. Are you hearing me?
Well, yeah, I'm hearing you, and yeah, you're right. They didn't do it on purpose, though, but our archaeologists have uncovered,
yeah, well, they're hidden a lot.
Ancient Egyptian civilizations. We know their histories of the Egyptians really well. I mean, all you got to do is watch the series Rome.
I mean, it's the archaeologists are telling a whole tale about. I mean, the Sphinx is twice as old, at least, as dynastic Egypt.
Right. So we know this history. Okay, we get that. We even know about Neanderthals. We've got cave paintings. We got all kinds of stuff that tells us what happened and how we came about here. And I'm just saying that we should do something like that for after we're gone, and leave stuff, instead of just going out like we were never here.
Yeah. Well, we've left 400,000 tons of radioactive waste.
Well, that's true.
That'll let them know.
That's kind of like a surprise to the aliens. Like, watch out! You're gonna get, you're gonna get a bad one there, buddy.
How do you transmit the message?
Actually,
don't go here.
Actually, I read an article about that, and they were talking about how would you tell humans 25,000 years in the future that this is a bad area? Well, how would you make signs or something? Would you have skulls and crossbones? And they were discussing that. This is having nothing to do with abrupt climate change extinction, but just evolution 20,000 years in the future, deep time. How do you tell people of a dangerous place? That sort of thing. So yeah, we need to do that too. Look, Guy McPherson's always talking about, we need to shut down the nuclear power plants. Maybe if we can't do that, maybe we should just put up warning signs, for people who can't read, and if barring an inability to shut down these plants, we should put down like a warning sign. Do not, dangerous area, do not go.
Unfortunately, the whole planet's going to be a dangerous area because when we go away, nobody's going to be there to run the cooling pumps, and all that stuff is going to just burn into the atmosphere.
True. So it's kind of pointless unless some aliens come by, drop down, and they're trying to figure out our stuff like reading hieroglyphics. That's the only possibility. Yeah.
The Anthropocene layer, millions of years from now, if some archaeologist from another planet comes, they're going to see all these artificial nuclear isotopes, and that'll be the delineating mark of the Anthropocene.
No, that's why I say that we have to put the memorial on the moon, because there's no
abandoned hope while you enter here.
Well, I mean, it's there's no atmosphere, so you're not going to have any kind of decomposition. You could actually leave bodies on the moon, they probably wouldn't decompose or anything. You could leave DNA, you could leave optical disc, hard drive, you could leave the whole YouTube archive up there, and then of course a solar powered radio beacon, like in 2001, sending out a signal.
That's a very interesting idea, Val. I like that.
The only reason why I think about this is because, like I said, I hate to think that our civilization is just going to end up in a dust pile, a total waste. Yeah,
and 90 million other species.
Right, and 90 million other species. Yeah, I mean, we have we keep a record of dinosaur bones, fossils. We study them. I'm sure that some species in the future, some alien might come across us and go, look, this is another planet where they heated the atmosphere and cooked themselves and went extinct.
Yep.
You know, and we could also leave them, like, you know, you've heard in the early 50s, I Love Lucy being broadcast out to the void, that, you know, they would find what we did. I mean, we did a lot of bad things, but we did a lot of good things too.
Yeah,
And-
like put too much soap in the washing machine, and
yeah. Tell me about it.
and
Or not enough,
the-
or wash your clothes without soap.
we had a conveyor belt of chocolates, man. What a decadent culture! Oh my goodness.
You know, I can only imagine them watching Lucille Ball,
Or Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy. Yeah, especially Robin Williams, but he was
I love
born-
Mark and Mindy. I love it.
Oh, me too.
he was born-
I so miss Robin.
I
Yeah.
know, that was so sad. I can't believe I still can't get over what happened there. I just, how could he do that? How could he not feel loved? He was
I
probably
know.
one of the most loved humans on the planet. What the hell?
well, it could have been part of his neurological disease that he wasn't thinking properly. But how do I know? It's just a guess.
Mm.
Yeah, it's crying shame.
Just bring up depression. I mean, as if the end of the world is not enough.
Really, well, I shouldn't have even brought it up, and I'm sorry I brought it up. I don't really even talk about the extreme climate change with anybody because it's too much of a bummer.
Mm.
And I'm already
It's hard to talk about with people you know personally.
right. I don't talk to them about it. In fact, I do talk about it to one person, but I feel guilty about talking to him. I feel like I ought to just keep it to myself.
I talk to you guys about it. That's where I get to actually talk about it. I don't even talk to my husband about that much.
You mean your support group?
Yes. This is my support group right here. All you guys.
I wish I could say something. I do have something more positive to say.
Okay.
I do. Okay, I'm a very pessimistic person, but I hold out the possibility that the government has got some secret Manhattan project that they're doing. They're not telling us about, trying to figure out how to suck the CO2 out of the atmosphere, and we're just not being told. And maybe there's a small possibility that they have got something, and we just don't know
Brought
about
that up in comments before.
Yes, I have. And I mean, if the Manhattan Project was a blank check, the government wrote out a blank check and said, get a nuclear bomb. They did it in like 2 years. Okay. Went from zero to nuclear. And that wasn't even an existential threat. It was just so we wouldn't be speaking German or Japanese. Okay. So I got to believe that the government has got some big project going on, and they're just not telling us. And you know, I really don't, but I rarely get somebody agreeing with me and saying, yeah, I think you're right, man.
Well, you know what? The thing is, you just don't know. And we don't know what we don't know. And that's the whole problem. We don't know what our planet is going to do with what is happening to it. We don't know what the military is doing because they're not transparent. We don't know what the government's doing because they're not transparent. So we don't know a lot. And that's the hard part.
You were quoting Rumsfeld's known unknowns and unknown knowns. And
Right.
How poetic.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But if they had they got Sandia Labs and the other nuclear weapons lab in New Mexico, I can't think, Los Alamos, and of course the one in I've been to in Tennessee in the Smokies. I gotta expect that they're doing some sort of big research program, and they're just not telling us. And they're not telling us because if it fails, they don't want to go, hey, you spent $10 trillion and this project failed. Or they don't want to alarm the public saying we're spending $10 trillion to suck CO2 out. So what I'm saying is I'm holding out the hope that there's a small chance that the government is working on something. That's
There
what
is a small chance, yeah.
that we're not 100%. I agree with Guy, okay, but I'm saying there's a small, tiny sliver of a chance of hope. And Guy goes too far with his thing on hope. People just use the word hope colloquially, like I hope to win the lottery. They're not saying that they're, but he goes a little too far with that. But
I think hope is better than want, because if you say I want something, you're creating a state of not having. You're
Right.
creating want. You're saying to the universe, I lack this. You know, so our language is funny that way. And I don't know if you've heard Guy talk about the guy who was
I've heard a guy talk about everything.
what's his name? Mark Austin.
Yeah, I think that name rings a bell, but
I think he's related to John McCain. He might even be one of John McCain's sons, but he was spying on Guy when he was teaching at university.
Yeah, he claimed that he had an intel agent, NSA person.
Well,
Which
he was apparently working with the Jason group at the Pentagon, and
I'm not sure if the Jason group is still together though.
well, he said fairly recent, within the last 2 years, that they had done a report that wasn't released to the public, of course, about the nuclear problem and the 400,000 tons that will be released, and they determined that it would blow the ozone off the planet so that the atmosphere would get blown away by the solar wind, and then the planet would wind up like Mars. Of course, we'll probably be Venus. We'll all be dead from Venus first, but then when that ionizing radiation does so much of it that it could really wipe out any chance of life recovering on Earth. You know, sorry to be depressing, but you know, and that's
why I'm bringing up this small, tiny possibility that there is a program that they're working on to solve this problem. Look,
right.
On the geoengineering, I don't want to get into get people all arguing about geoengineering, but I suspect they're going to do everything they can. And I'm kind of shocked. Look, if you got cancer, chemo's no fun.
Right.
But people take chemo rather than die. There's a lot of bad side effects with chemo.
They're going to do everything but let us know about it until the very last minute. So we keep spending money.
Right.
We keep paying taxes.
Right. Yeah, and that's good and bad because some people may argue that we don't want to panic the situation, but I even part of the Extinction Rebellion's demands is for the government to be honest with people. But I don't think people will believe them if they tell them. They'll just say that this is trying to tax us some more.
Right.
And so I don't think that. I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do that. I'm all for Extinction Rebellion, and I love Greta Thunberg. I think she's going to win a Nobel Prize. Going to be the first 16-year-old to win a Nobel Prize.
It's so amazing to hear her talk.
No, she is amazing. And the thing is, what I'm really sad about is she's getting a lot of, she's just being patronized. She's not actually being taken seriously. And there's a lot of people cheering her on, but she's really not being taken seriously. And you can see it in her face when she's getting applause. She's not like, oh, I'm so wonderful. She's like, oh, fuck, I don't want more applause. I want you to fucking do something.
Yeah.
You can just see it in her eyes that she wants people to act, and they're not going to act. They're going to give her awards. They're going to cheer her on and whatever, and do absolutely nothing. And that's what makes me disgusted. She's just being used, and she's going to be used to push a Green New Deal, which is actually going to make it, make capitalism grow bigger, because it's all based on growing the economy. And then we're going to eat more of nature, to build more infrastructure, And then people are just going to feel free to use as much power, electricity, energy as they want to because they'll feel good about it because there's windmills and solar panels. So sorry, that was a huge rant. Sorry.
Totally true.
That went off the rail. It builds up, it just builds up.
Yeah, I can tell you're on fire with this, Chris. That's for sure.
Aw, I mean, I'm not trying to be on fire with anything. This is just my true feelings. I mean, I'm trying to think through
Because
everything.
It's so horrible. It's so horrible to think that man has trashed this planet. So yeah, it's like,
And they want to do it more, building more solar
you
panels.
want to take them and go, what are you people thinking?
I know.
If you could just get hold of them grab Donald Trump by the lapels, go, dude, what are you doing, man?
I know. I wish I
Slap
could.
him a couple times. Bap, bap.
I mean, but it's almost even more frustrating for people who understand the problem we're facing, that understand the biodiversity loss and all that, and they still want to push for rebuilding the whole entire infrastructure and all that, which would be devastating, even more devastating, and it would push things along further because we'd be eating up all the land, we'd be eating up all the microorganisms, all the ecosystems and all that to gather the materials needed for these products. I'm still trying to get somebody on about the hemp to see if that actually replaces the copper and cobalt that is needed for solar panels. I have not heard that yet. So, and then there's the cement issue in which hemp could possibly be used, but it's not as strong. There's so many questions, and I just not all on board a simple, yeah, solar panels will solve everything. Wind will solve everything. I'm not on board with that. I want to know what the unintended consequences are. And nobody is talking about what that could possibly be. They're just saying that will solve everything. Electric cars, solar panels, windmills. And I'm not convinced that that's not going to make it worse. So if I'm a bad guy, and I got a lot of shit for saying that, maybe I am a bad guy. I'm just like, I don't think that's going to help if we have to tear up more of our natural ecosystem to do that.
And there's not enough here on the planet to build out that infrastructure. Germany has just admitted that they've totally failed. They don't have the infrastructure and grid to tie together. They don't have the storage, and they're now relying more on coal than they did before they switched to solar and wind. And really,
they haven't slowed it down. There was just a story about Germany and how much solar and wind and stuff. They haven't slowed down their fossil fuel usage. When you're adding 275,000 people per day to this planet, I don't care how much solar and wind you add, you're still gonna be using the same amount of energy and resources from the planet.
And you're still a heat engine. You're still emitting heat no matter how you power civilization. And there's too many people on the planet.
I know.
And there's not enough.
You'll never win that battle. So what do you do? People say, no, you can't tell people not to have babies. You can't. I mean, it's such a taboo topic. But our life and all life on the planet depends on talking about this topic. So why aren't people talking about it? I mean, I'm beyond frustrated with people on this issue because they don't want to talk about it.
It's the big thing to wrap your mind around, admittedly. So I ain't excusing any of these bastards, though. It's not like it's. I mean, climate change is not that hard for me. It's basic science,
right?
Heating your car and all this. I don't. The arguments, any kind of arguments is stupid. But at any rate, I totally agree with you. You get frustrated. You want to just beat it out of them or something.
I want to beat it into their heads.
There's a lot of frustration here. And that's why I started watching some flat earth videos because I was trying to get my frustration out on those bastards. Silly bastards.
It's nice to vent and troll another channel, but I stopped doing that because that was even more frustrating because the arguments you'd get back is like, okay, there's all these points that are wrong, but it would take me 10 years to freaking write back and tell them how many ways they're wrong. It's like,
Yeah.
uh,
I usually last about 2 or 3 posts before they kick me out. I am not shy about sharing
I
my
know,
knowledge
but
of
I love what you share.
what's happening with the planet. And it's funny, a little story. When I was up at my parents', I was doing some shopping for them, and it was I guess it was the beginning of March, and there was it was snowing, and there was this older guy who, you know, was getting in his car at the same time as me, and I got out the brush and I'm brushing the snow off my car, and he's like, "Oh, will you do mine yet next?" You know, joking, and I said, "Oh, sure," you know. He's like, "No, I'm just kidding," and you know, so I'm wiping off my car, and he says, "You know, we got a real problem with this climate change, you know, because there had just been that big tornado outbreak, and we're having snow in March, and it was like, you know, 70 degrees the day before." And he's like, "You know, I'm Jewish, and I belong to a synagogue, and I'm very good friends with the rabbi. He's a family friend. And, you know, we were all very pro-Trump for various reasons. And, you know, I just, you know, I can't take the lies anymore. It's all lies. And, you know, I've totally changed my mind on this." So I approached my rabbi and I said, "You know, how can you, you know, be behind this man when all he does is lie and claim to be a man of religion, you know, a spiritual person?" And the guy was silent, and he finally, you know, he put his arm on the guy's shoulder, and he's like, "I can't defend it. You're absolutely right. You know, I can't coexist as a religious leader and someone who's endorsing someone who lies with every breath." And it was just kind of cool. So of course, I brushed his windows off and said, "You're right on, man. But usually I'm that guy." I said, "Usually I'm that guy." He's saying, "We've got a real problem here, you know." And it's just so funny to have it the you know, shoe on the other foot and have someone come up to me and say, "We got a real problem with climate change."
Yeah,
Like, I'm not going to argue with you.
Climate change. If it was just climate change, you know, it may be a little easier for me to handle, but it's not just climate change. We're also losing all the species. And someone was,
Right.
I think Jilly said something about because someone was talking about how the windmills kill birds, and they do. They kill
Lots.
a lot of especially birds of prey, falcons, eagles, all that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But she was saying that the natural resource extraction also, I mean, I couldn't find the comment. I couldn't go back to that, but I just want to say yes, that actual natural resource extraction is responsible for 80% of the biodiversity loss. So that's a really important point. But also natural resource extraction would be required to build solar panels and wind. You can't drive 5 miles in my state without seeing a freaking gravel pit that's eating a mountain. Like, it's like huge chunks of the mountain just gone because of gravel pits. And then you see Kennecott Copper, which is almost an entire mountain range that just gone, mining the copper, which they use for solar panels. So it's just frustrating to me. I just, you know, I don't see a way to get out of this and to keep the planet and to keep the lives. I've tried to mentally work it out how we could do it. And I have these hopium things about how we could all live differently, but there's just too many people.
Well, I do have another possibility, and I mentioned this before. You probably don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
but I mentioned this before, and this is a possibility. I think Osama will agree with me. If we can't get our asses out of this, which is a very difficult problem, that maybe second or third generation artificial intelligence. I mentioned to you this before, but if you have a godlike intelligence, that thing may be able to figure a way to suck the carbon out of the atmosphere. Okay, imagine your intelligence compared to your cat. Or do you have a cat or a dog?
I have both.
Okay, imagine your intelligence compared to a cat or a dog. Well, second or third generation AI would be much more advanced than even that.
My horses are way more smart than my cats, my dogs, and me.
Okay, but the AI, well, okay, that I know you're joking.
No, I'm not joking.
You're very smart.
But it's a different kind of intelligence. They're more emotionally intelligent.
But you're a very smart lady because I've been watching.
Aw,
You come on this scene very quickly. You popped on this scene like super quick. Like Sam's been, I've been watching him for 10 years.
I'm OCD, and once I get on a topic, and I'm hyperactive, and I think I'm a little autistic. So once I get on something, I'm like all over it.
Okay, once if this is once what the AI does is that it builds copies of itself. Okay, so each generation would be much smarter. Okay, there's nothing else. I mean, when you make a baby, you don't necessarily the baby's much smarter than you. Could be a little bit smarter than you, but artificial intelligence would build you, right? You know what I'm saying, right, Osama?
Yeah, but we need time. We don't have a lot of time to develop this.
Well,
I mean, of course, the Google AI learned to beat the best chess playing computer in the world in 4 hours.
Right. I mean, they can't beat it. But
you know what? AI is going to come to the conclusion of humans have to go. If it's any kind of smart AI at all.
It probably will, but it will. But I'm talking about saving the planet.
Yeah.
And AI will keep some humans around to study and for shits and giggles. It probably wouldn't get rid of all of us. But
it wouldn't get rid of me. I'm a nice guy. I want to say.
Well, it might, I mean, you might come across you and go, we're going to study this lady, but the possibility this once it gets to like second or third generation, it goes exponential. It goes parabolic like a rocket going straight up, and then it becomes godlike. Okay, and it sounds so incredible, but what's happening with the climate change is incredible too. That's incredible.
Reminds me of the old Asimov story.
Yeah.
Which
one? He wrote like 400 books.
Where at the end the computer says, "Let there be light." Whatever that one was, where they they kept asking, what happens after the universe ends, and heat death or whatever. That's what the theory was at the time, and they keep asking the computer keeps compiling more information, and finally at the end the computer says, "Let there be light," and forms another universe, right?
And you got another Big Bang. Yeah, so I'm saying that there's a possibility that artificial intelligence could solve this problem. If I had to give a percentage chance, I would put it at 2%.
Okay. Well,
2% chance that
that's better than no chance.
Huh?
That's better than no chance, right?
Better than no chance, but it's a possibility. Now, if they got this artificial intelligence, then it no doubt. I mean, this super artificial intelligence. Okay, this intelligence would have godlike power. Okay, it would be like a god. Okay, then there's no doubt that it could fix it. No doubt. Okay, it would. This artificial intelligence could terraform other planets like Mars or Venus. It would be no problem for it. Okay, so that's something to hope for.
Sure.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know if anyone has seen guy's latest video with Peter Miller?
Yeah, I was watching that. I didn't get through the whole thing though.
Yeah, at the end, he's talking about a solution that
That's the surprise ending. I never got to the surprise
that's
ending.
the surprise ending. Yeah, he wouldn't say much about it because it's not his. He didn't come up with it, and I think he's talking about the mirrors at the Lagrange point, which meaning that you launch unfoldable space mirrors at the Lagrange point between the Earth and the Sun, so they're always between the Earth and the Sun, no matter where the Earth is in its orbit, and it can block a certain percentage of sunlight, mimicking the global dimming effect, without dumping more shit into the atmosphere. It's going to be outside the atmosphere, and he's like, I would be so happy, to find a solution. People keep thinking that I want us all to die, but
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't see him ever saying that.
No, but people always say, oh,
And just
die.
the truth. That's not saying he wants everybody to die, but telling the truth is
Right.
the truth. Tell us the truth. Maybe if everyone knew the truth, maybe people would be working on solutions instead of just going about their merry way, being a corporate slave every day. Maybe we would be working for solutions. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I've been on here. Oh my God.
I know you don't like these techno fixes, Chris. Like he was talking about this Lagrange point mirror, which I've heard of it too, but it's a possibility.
Hey, I'm all for if there's a way to fix things. I am not a masochist. I would love to save the planet. I would love to save all the living creatures, but even if you fix the climate situation, we still have the problem of overpopulation and biodiversity loss. So there's still that, and that has to be fixed as well, because it doesn't matter if you fix the climate if you don't stop the biodiversity loss, if you don't save every living thing we have on the planet.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
It needs to people need to stop being childish. The adolescence for humans, that time is over. If we want to
Commenting, or are they all gone? Just curious. Are you seeing any more comments? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I'm catching
wondering.
catching up with them. We have a troll.
We have a troll. Who's the troll?
I don't know. It's still catching up here. Let's see. Yeah, there's still comments coming in.
Okay, because
Somebody is.
so the last one.
Yoda man, tell me they do this. I think.
Yoda man, I saw that troll a long time ago. Yeah. Is that an older one? The Phosphorus said night all, and then everyone was saying bye, and I thought they were saying bye to Sandy. And that's the last I have on my comments. So I'm just wondering if it froze.
No, it's still going. Zox is here. Human, Chris Foster, Julie Love, Human. They're still all posting.
Anita, Adam Thomas, Ed Sumner.
Hi, Adam.
Scott Murto. I think I need to restart mine though, because I think mine froze.
Mine just stopped.
Okay.
No, now it's still going as Shiva is posting.
Okay. No, mine's froze.
Hey guys, another thing that in science you have to try to be unbiased. So every once in a while, I try to say to myself, "What if I'm wrong about this? What if I'm wrong that this isn't going to happen?" Try to be skeptical, but I kind of like, the fires and all that. But I try. I don't know about you, Osama. Do you kind of say that sometimes, bro?
No,
you're pretty.
It's pretty basic science.
Okay,
I mean,
you're 100%.
I understand being a sound engineer, I understand feedback. Positive feedbacks are very nonlinear things, and
Well, I was just
they
trying
just
to throw a little
tend to
hope in there,
take off.
but you're
And,
right. We're fine.
But I'm an engineer. I'm searching for solutions, and I think anything we can do to alleviate any suffering is worthwhile. And also,
Agreed.
if
Chris
we
Foster
can,
made it. Yay.
I'm kind of stealing this from Jamin, but he's suggesting AI be trained to sequester the nuclear waste after we're gone, or starting before we're gone, if we could, to sequester that waste so the planet isn't totally rendered inhospitable forever, because that would be a better outcome than all of us going away and then the whole planet turning like Mars.
Yeah, there's a couple problems with Jamin though. So far they've got nothing going. It's all been talk.
I know in that one session with Lord Hugh and Sandy and Kevin, that more was accomplished, I think, in that one session than in all the hours that Jamin has been running his group. And I reached out to Jamin and I said, check this stuff out, and I gave him the link to the Reddit page, so, if because he's got some really good people, and they've got great intent. It's just, it's talk, and I mean, he's basically saying the same thing that you are, that let the AI, do this. And I just found a comment here from S. Shiva that I'd like to read.
Okay.
And they say, since AI would be a god to us, I'm thinking that we should mesh with AI as soon as possible so we can keep up with it. We can proactively further our own evolution by meshing with AI, perhaps.
They might.
Wire me up.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Wireless.
I don't want to be a machine. I mean, why live if you're a machine?
some people would be cyborgs, but the AI would probably get rid of most of people. And they would do it, look, like the movie Avengers, Thanos. Thanos instantly got rid of half the population of the universe. I don't know if you saw the movie. I only watched it because of that.
I like Wally. Wally. Wally was cute.
The AI would probably get rid of us. Get rid of most.
That's my thinking. If you have artificial intelligence, okay, I'm not that smart, but I'm thinking that humans caused all this problem that we're having. Why wouldn't we be the thing they want to get rid of in order to solve the problem? It just makes sense to me. I don't know. I'm not that smart. I don't know, but it makes sense to me.
Look, I watched some videos of I'm kind of a vegan, and I watched some videos of some animals at a slaughterhouse.
Oh God!
The animals have no clue what's happening to them. That would be what they're in a machine.
They know what's happening to them.
Well, they don't
like cows. They know. They're herd animals.
They don't understand this machine though. This machine of agricultural farming, where you're putting a truck. They don't. You're taken to this place. You're lying.
No, they get it. Okay, can I explain to you the herd
yeah,
scenario?
Sure.
Because horses are my thing. They're herd animals, and cows are the same way. So this is really important to understand. Herd animals, they can sense things. They're very, very this is why I say they're more emotionally intelligent. They can actually communicate. And I've read books about studies that have been done where horses can communicate like from distances. Okay, and cows are the same way. Most herd animals have this ability where they can feel emotions from far away and senses. So when I went up, and I think I kind of at one point I got really like into that, like vibration with them. I know this is going to sound really fucking nuts.
No.
I'm sorry. This is going to sound crazy, but it's absolutely positively true. But I've gotten on that vibration with the horses before, where there was this mare that was pregnant. I didn't know how far along. I just bought her. I rescued her. She was starving to death. She was skin and bones. She had fungus all over her, lost all of her hair up past her knees. And anyway, I nursed her back to health. And then suddenly she started growing a belly. She was still skinny, but she had a belly, and she started growing an udder. And I found out she was pregnant. I took her to the vet. He couldn't tell how far along she was. She was 5 months, he said, or she could be due any day. He couldn't tell at that point. It was too long into the pregnancy to tell. And so anyway, I got everything ready, whatever. And I didn't think she was, going. It's been a long time since I had a baby. So I just went to a town 45 minutes away, and I was visiting with someone, and I felt contractions. I saw her eye in my head. I seen her eye all wrinkled and worried eyebrow. And I'm like, oh my God, she's in labor. She's in labor. I gotta go. And I raced home. I didn't live where she was. I lived somewhere else. I had to go grab iodine and towels. And then I went to the stall, shined my flashlight in just as she was giving birth. Right at the moment. So herd animals can communicate. So I know damn well they know what's happening, and it's got to be terrifying. I went up to this place. It's Miller Meats. When I sold boiler parts, I had to deliver some parts to this place, and I could see the cows like a conveyor belt going up this long thing to lead into the slaughterhouse. It was just a long, winding little, I don't know, thing. They have to go up. And I felt their fucking pain, their stress and anxiety. And I still to this day can feel it when I picture it. I'm sorry. Herd animals know what's happening. They know. They can feel what's happening ahead of them because they're conveying it. Herd animals can convey danger. So, yeah. David Henderson, my vegan.
Okay.
Don't ask me that. I want to be. Oh my God. Yeah. But see, they're smart. They're smart. And they know, and they're more intelligent, and they can feel things. They can sense things way better than humans can. That's why.
Why aren't they breeding more horses and switching to horses as transportation?
That's what I would like to know. I would love that.
Like friggin' Amish, riding around in horse and buggies. They want to talk about an energy transition. Use horses and mules. And I look, if there was a collapse of the energy industry, horses would be worth $1 million a piece when there's no other transportation.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Imagine if there was an EMP, okay, knocked out all the electronics. Well, people, who got horses, you still got a way to get around, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a mule? You have a mule, Chris?
No, I don't have a mule. We have several horses.
Okay, so they should be there's barely enough horses to for a few people in this country. They should be breeding them like hell.
We have plenty of them. I mean, around where I'm at, there's tons of them.
Well, there's not enough for every 300 million people in the country to go back to 1850.
Well, most people, not everybody needs a horse. If you live in a community, you don't need a horse.
I have a burro to carry my dialysis machine from cave complex to cave complex.
Okay, well, there you go, Osama.
That works too. Burros are great.
To move you for that.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, Zoxilix, I can never say your name. Science and superstition made the claim that animals didn't feel fear or pain for centuries. Yeah, that's just a lie. It's a lie. If you've ever had an animal, you know that that's a fucking lie. I'm ovo vegan. That's cool.
Well, I think we should bring that up in further conversations. That
yeah, but it's getting super late and I have to work in the morning.
okay, let's call it quits. But you know, it's a transition. You know, the transition to horses and mules, bicycles. You know, hey, buddy,
Hey.
how's it hanging, man?
I just love that.
How's hell? Are you enjoying hell, or did you get 72 virgins, man?
They only gave me one 72-year-old version.
Oh shit, they lied.
Yeah,
One 72-year-old.
it's a scam. Don't do it, martyrs. Don't do it. It's not
They've
worth it.
been bullshitting them.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we really got to call it a night, but we'll do this again next
Thanks.
week.
That was
Whoever wants to
fun. Thanks
join.
for the invite.
Hey, anytime. I'll always send you one. If you join or not, you know, it's up to you. I just love having you on, Osama, and you too. Do you want me to call you Joe or Val? Val? Okay. I'll do that. I am saying goodnight to everybody.
I'm
Thank you, guys.
posting. I'm posting.
Sandy's having a show Thursday night. She's going to be running eCam for Antonio, I think. Shit. I got to make sure I do this right. Hold on. For Sandy, I told her I would let everybody know. I just got to find it. 9 Eastern. On, I believe it's Thursday, 9 Eastern with Antonio. Yeah. So,
Antonio Reed.
yeah. Okay. That. So, make sure you guys all pop in and support.
Can you say that again, and I'll pop it in the chat room?
9 Eastern Thursday.
9 Eastern Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
At Environmental Coffee House, I think, and she.
Is that
yeah,
on YouTube?
I don't know. I never know with her. It's either Facebook or YouTube. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I suck at that. I just don't know. She doesn't specify. I think she's going to try to multicast it, but I don't know for sure. Unless you ride bareback. What? Unless you want to ride bareback. Bye, Jilly. Thank you for coming, Foxlix, Shiva. You're awesome. Everybody is awesome. Okay, I'm really going to go. I just want to make sure I said hello to everybody. Did I miss anybody? Human.
I put a good Tim Bob video in the chat. If anyone wants to check
I
it
love
out.
Tim Bob.
He's great.
If there's any,
I have yet to
share.
run into him in a chat, but he is. I saw him in Head in the Box after like when I was playing a replay. I had to leave the chat early before he got there, and God, he was hysterical, man. It was the one. It was where Guy Lane was talking about making the lightsabers.
Oh.
He's making these waterproof lightsabers. And Tim Bob goes, does it have a vibrate mode? I'm asking for a friend. It's like, oh my God, this guy is great.
Oh my God.
All right. Love you guys, man.
Love you too.
This is the best group ever.
I know
Best
it is
group of
for
people.
sure.
All my friends, thank you so much. You guys rock.
I know. This is the best group. Okay. Love you. Thank you. Have a good night. I'm going to figure out how to end this. Bye, guys. Betty Crocker just came. I don't know what this is. No, I'm not doing the cinnamon challenge, guys. Seriously? Thanks for asking, though. Okay. I'm going to go for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Great seeing you, Val.
Woo. Night. Thanks, Osama. I'm done, really.